Recently, Fahari I-Reit announced that it had returned a net profit of 106 million shillings in its inaugural 13 months ended 31st December 2016 since its successful listing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. The rate, which was launched in the market in November 2015, also closed the period with a net asset value per unit of 19.81. The I-Reit is the first of its kind in the country and the region, and so its total revenues stand at some 248.5 million in rental and related incomes. Now, despite the challenging economic conditions that prevailed the year, as can be evidenced by the current bear run at the NSE. Now, of course, for many people, of course, they're wondering what exactly is an I-Reit and why indeed they should really care. And for that answer, we want to turn to the gentleman in studio, Kenneth Masika, CEO of the Fahari I-Reit. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Peter. Pleasure to be here.
Yes. Indeed, for many people, they can't even begin to fathom what exactly is an I-Reit in the first place. So please take this apart for us.
Thank you, Peter. An I-Reit is a simple concept. Actually, a REIT can be defined as a regulated investment vehicle that allows people to come together, put money or money's worth towards into a trust, which then is divided in units with the aim of purchasing property, and they earn profits from the property they purchase or from the income as a beneficiary. So in essence, it's pooling investments together to own property which individually they would not be able to purchase.
So then there is the I in front of it. So I'm guessing there are several different kinds of rates. In this case, this one being an investment rate.
Correct. REIT in Kenya was set up under what is called the Capital Markets Authority Real Estate Investment Trust Collective Investment Schemes Regulations of 2013. It is a mouthful.
Yes.
Basically, those regulations allow for the formation of two types of REITs. An income REIT, which basically buys properties that are income earning, and a development REIT, which now collects money from investors and develops the properties, disposes of them, and distributes the income. The two different types are denoted by the letter before the REIT. So an I-REIT is an income REIT, a D-REIT is a development REIT.
So in that intro we read right there the fact that the Fahari I-Reit did return a profit. So please take us through the process from listing to declaring the profit. What would that landscape have looked like?
From the time of listing, we were just come off an IPO where we raised 3.6 billion shillings.
So you literally went to the market to sell shares,
correct,
so to say.
Correct, correct. And raised 3.6 billion shillings. Out of that 3.6 billion shillings, we had identified 3 seed properties, namely Greenspan Mall down in Donholm, Signature, and Bay Holdings. And the 3 were bought at a consolidated cost of 2.4 billion. That left us with a surplus of just over 1 billion shillings, which we then put in near cash instruments as we look forward to buying another property. So once we bought the properties, we then had to vest them into the REIT. In other words, take over management and manage them basically on behalf of the unit holders. So as you know, things in Kenya take quite a bit of time in terms of transactions at the lands office. So that did take a bit of time, but I'm glad to say we are successfully through that hurdle. We took our management and basically managed them like it's management like any other property, where you buy, you manage, you collect your rent, you do your repairs, your maintenance, tenant management issues, which hopefully tends to be less than what you're collecting, and that's how we declared a profit.
Yeah, so very recently we saw reports on TV of Kenyans who'd come together and a sort of pool investment thing like a chama or a savings and credit society, a SACCO, to put together money ostensibly for purchase and construction of real estate houses that they were supposed to get later, and they're saying they literally have burnt their fingers. Now, what's the difference between something like that and what we are talking about here today?
The main difference between SACCOs and chamas and the REIT is actually, it can be found in the definition of the REIT, that it is a regulated investment vehicle. And I think that is critical to note. When in REITs in Kenya, they are regulated by the Capital Markets Authority. So what you're assured of is that there's somebody looking after your money, or making sure that the person you give your money to is investing the money in line with what the promises that you had given. Now, chamas and SACCOs, to the best of my understanding, and I stand to be corrected, are not regulated legally as the REIT is. Yeah. So the REIT gives that confidence that it is a regulated investment vehicle.
I'm not sure whether at inception you were able to collect the money you needed, but because there could be people out there who would now want to put in money into this thing that we are calling a REIT, the Stanley Fahari I-Reit today. What are the ways of doing that? Do you think you're going to come to market again to raise some cash soon? Are you trading on the secondary market on the NSE? Can I go purchase those shares or units across the counter or indeed on the market?
Yes, Peter. In the beginning, the CMA gave us approval to raise 12.5 billion.
Yes.
As stated earlier, we managed to raise 3.6 billion, which is what we invested. Yes. Obviously, raising 3.6 billion meant the REIT in terms of size is not significant enough. So we are actually looking to come back into the market to grow the REIT to that size. And this is also based on the fact that we are looking to also grow the quality and the type of property that we put into the REIT. If you look at the REIT as it's set up, Greenspan accounts for a significant chunk of the properties put in. Now, being in the retail sector, we'd like to try and balance that out with a commercial property, a light industrial property, a hospitality property, to just bring diversification, both in terms of sector and location. And also, as it goes now, the shares are actually being traded on Nairobi Stock Exchange. No, sorry, I correct that, Nairobi Securities Exchange.
Very quickly, because we are out of time, for indeed a lot of Kenyans who see this as a viable means of investment going forward. And the fact that you are regulated, as you're saying, what would be the things that we need to look out for to be able to know that this indeed is a premium thing that essentially with the rest of the real estate market seeming to sort of have plateaued at some levels, we have the really bad lack of housing at the lower end of the market. There seems to be quite a lot of potential. So what should we expect from you in the future?
I think what you expect from us in the future is we aim to grow the REIT in line to give you a steady, predictable annuity, like income that you can count on. And that we intend to do by the quality of assets that we keep in. And bear in mind that these assets are underpinned by commercial leases, which by their nature tend to be 6-year leases that enable the prediction of the income to come.
Okay.
And I think the main thing also to note with a REIT is that underneath it is not like a trading company. Underneath it is underpinned by physical property assets that can be seen and established.
Indeed, that is an interesting conversation right there. Unfortunately, we have to bring it to a close. But something that, of course, we want to come back to, especially knowing that you are going back to market, we want to know when that is. But, of course, that's a conversation for another day. Thank you indeed, sir, for taking the time to talk to us. Kenneth Masika, CEO of the Stanley Fahari I-Reit. Asante sana.
Thank you, Peter.